At this time, it is my pleasure to call your May 25th, 2022 meeting of your Hanover Borough Council to order. I request that those who can stand and help us recite the Pledge of Allegiance in unison, and then we'll follow that with a brief moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, and please be seated. Secretary Felix, will you assist with the calling of the roll?
Here. Say that again?
Here.
All right.
Mrs. Funk?
Here.
Mrs. Greenhold?
Here.
Mr. Greenhold?
Here.
Mr. Hagberg?
Chuck.
No?
Mr. Hagberg, could you please acknowledge that you're here?
He's no.
Let me
Mr.
text him.
Press?
Here.
Mr. Lockard?
Here.
You okay?
Mr. Ricard?
Here.
Mr. Rowland?
Here.
Dr. Ruff?
Here.
Solicitor Schultes?
Here.
Mayor Whitman?
Here.
Secretary Felix, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Secretary Felix. At this time, I'd like to announce that prior this evening, the council participated in executive session from approximately 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. prior to this meeting currently, involving the following matters under the respective sections of the Sunshine Act. Litigation matters under Section 708A4 and A5. At this time, I will open up the room for public comment. For anyone who would like to address us at the beginning of the meeting, we'll start with anyone in attendance physically within the room first. Public comment? Sure, just come forward. We're going to ask you to speak clearly into the microphone. You should identify who you are by name and address for our record, please.
Good evening. It's a pleasure to be here tonight. My name is Kevin Beidelsbach, and this is a good night for me. 28 years ago this month, I was in this room for a meeting, and
We need your address.
oh, sure, 8029 Woodland Drive, Hanover.
Thank you.
Sure. And I was here in May of 1994 to tell you that I was going to be the next owner of the Leinhardt Furniture Building. So for the last 28 years, I've been operating that piece of property, a health club, and also providing on an average of 5 other tenants to that property. And I'm proud to say that in the last 30 years, I'm tacking 2 on there, but I've brought more people into downtown Hanover than anyone else has. And unfortunately, for me, I'm going to be stepping down here next month as the owner, I hope. And I just wanted to say that it's been a pleasure to serve Hanover all these years. But my serving didn't begin with Club 2000. It kind of began when I moved here in 1967. But anyhow, I want this to be about Club 2000, but I was kind enough to bake you some of my handmade pretzels
I have them
tonight,
here. I'll pass them out after the meeting.
since I happen to be
I've
the
always
owner of
been like that.
Ravona Pretzel down the street a little
Yeah.
bit
Oh,
for
good.
18 years. So maybe we'll meet there as well.
Or they got stuck up there with it too. Or something.
They're just standing right here.
You had a break there, and I thought maybe that was a better time. But anyhow, I know you don't like to talk with your mouth full. So why I'm really here is to say that I guess I've done a study of Hanover over the last 28 years. I grew up here, went to Southwest, spent a lot of time doing as much as I could for that school as possible, and then after my educational hiatus and a little bit of training outside the area, came back in 1984 and opened a club in your North Hanover Mall, and then proceeded to build the largest sports complex in northern Maryland, which was a little bit bigger than the South Hanover Y, and then decided my final project would be Club 2000 until somehow I ran into that pretzel business down the street. But anyhow, I wanted to thank you for that, and I also wanted to give you a first-hand update on what we're hoping we get your blessing for over there. Another Hanoverian and his cousin are purchasing the building, and they want to put a medical supply store in the front. They have another business out of town doing the same thing, so they're excited about doing this, but I'm going to allow them to officially come and meet and greet over here, and you'll get to know them. But I think it's exciting because my time has definitely come. The only thing with Club 2000 is we're going to do everything we can to modify the operation and work with the people that are within that building to keep it operational. But as far as a day-to-day thing, I will no longer be the owner of that business, but I will be a supporter, and I think if they do have a board, I'll be on it, and I'll help them any way I can. But there's going to be some scuttlebutt, I'm sure. My hope is that it can continue, okay? And the only other comments I really want to share are my priority here tonight is to talk to you about your future parking plans. What's interesting about this moment is I sit here 28 years, and my goal was to be the hardest working person in Hanover, and other than Dr. Rupp, I don't know any of you people, which tells me that you don't spend much time in my building or my business.
You could tell that by looking at me.
Well, I'm just telling you that I know a lot of people in town now after having a health club for 28 years, and I never knew how many people from Hanover like soft pretzels and hard pretzels. But anyhow, my point is, I want to wish you luck going forward. I started there when I was 34. I'm 62 years old, and I don't have the legs I used to have, so I've got to cut something back. But parking, I'm just going to talk about the lot adjacent to our building. If you haven't been in the building, your chances of parking in that parking lot probably haven't been real common either. So I'm not sure how you can make a decision about parking when you don't utilize the facilities. I happen to be a car person. Just because I drive a 1997 minivan to work, I just know it's going to get dinged up. And what's sad is when I see senior citizens at the club who have to crawl in their passenger side to get in their car, or they tell me they have a nice car and they just got a big ding in it because the spaces are so narrow over there, okay? And I want to tell you that in my life, it's always been quality over quantity. And you got to keep this place enjoyable to come to. It shouldn't be a conversation about getting your car damaged or something as ridiculous as you're parked between the lines, but you can't get in your car because it's too tight.
Mr.
Yes, sir.
Bridlespark, I just have to let you know, we normally.
I know, I know. I'm
few
beyond my
minutes for
time,
this,
but
and-
this is my only chance,
understand
okay?
it's- you're
And
passionate
I
about it.
appreciate your time so much. So I understand, I've seen several changes over the years. I understand you're going to a new parking meter situation. I just really hope that the plan for that has been properly thought about as to what your goals are to accomplish. Every time I've studied that parking lot, I have found a 90 to 95% money in the meter if there's a car there. That's a very high usage rate. I had to get my people very happy to not complain about putting money in those meters to come in 4 or 5 days a week. And they did it, okay? The significant program that you're talking about, I think, is going to totally change businesses like ours. Totally change. And if you're willing to do that and lose that type of business, then I think it's something the board really has to consider. But that's my comment. I'm still going to be a Hanoverian forever, and thank you again for your time, and good luck with everything, and we'll keep the pretzels going for a while anyhow.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Mr. Bridlespark.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Gentleman in the back, you'd like to address?
Of course, thank you so much.
You bet. Name and address, and then the nature of your comment.
Certainly. My name is Nicholas Ossie. I live on 30 Carlisle Street, apartment 4, Hanover, PA.
Okay.
So I am actually the manager of Club 2000, and I'll keep it very brief because I'm sure you guys are ready. So I understand the Hanover Borough is currently looking at replacing the parking meter system, followed by a price increase. The current rate is 5 cents for 15 minutes. I spoke with a member of the borough staff, I believe it's Eric, and he informed me that the current plan is to go up to $1 for 1 hour and 15-minute intervals for an additional 25 cents. This is a 500% increase. Most of our members come 4 to 6 times a week for 1.5 to 2 hours. In 1 week, they will spend between $6 and $12 or $24 to $48 a month just on parking. This adds up to potentially over $500 just to frequent one business. This is more than our membership fees, and I worry that this could have a substantial impact on our long-term survivability, with members instead choosing other gyms outside the square for cheaper prices since they can park for free. You know, they can drive to Planet Fitness in just a couple minutes. As Kevin has said, we have been here for 28 years and had to work through the economic damage caused by the COVID pandemic. Losing a large number of clientele at this point in time, I think, would be detrimental to not just us, but many other businesses around us, including in the building like Rock Bottom Climbing, where people come multiple times a week for extended intervals. Our current membership is $23 a month for a 1-year plan. These proposed rates would nearly triple the total price to $60 to $70 a month. Planet Fitness, the Y, Platinum all offer free parking. We have already had members express concerns about the current rate of parking, which I actually do believe is more than fair. But a 500% increase will certainly lose us members. During COVID, we lost a significant percentage of our membership, especially seniors, who are understandably worried about catching the illness. As of last month, we are officially at 80% of what we were with the Silver Sneaker Community Program. This is when seniors can come and visit through health insurance. So over 2 years from the start of COVID, and we are still rebuilding that program. We cannot afford to take another large hit to our membership at this time, especially with the new owner and everything of that nature who would like to stay in Hanover. We have started to compensate with younger generations, including college and high school kids, but many of them are on fixed income or relied upon family. With inflation and our economy headed towards recession, gyms are already guaranteed to struggle. The Pretzel restaurant around the corner here has already announced that they're moved to another location outside of downtown Hanover, and one of their biggest bulletin points was better parking. It is already a concern for local companies to the point where they're starting to move. I just believe an increase of this amount has the potential to give us no choice but to consider other options, and I just wanted to express those concerns, not just for me, but the new owner and the future clients as well. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyone else in the room? Yes, sir?
Good evening. My name is Jeff Crape. I live at 525 York Street, Hanover. And we changed a new ordinance, urban agriculture for my area, just of last year. And I appreciate that very much. It's very helpful to me. I sell produce. I sell tomatoes out York Street. I'm having a problem with parking myself. I have quite a few customers. I do have quite a few customers selling tomatoes out York Street. I went to the borough here, to Eric Maines, and he approved for me to level a certain section of my property and actually the borough's property out, and for me to obtain the possession of that property by what we call that, a quiet title application. And then once I had the quiet title started, they changed the process. They approved it and said it was okay for me to do that. Then they didn't approve it. So I'm going through a lot of trouble, spent what, $5,900. And something was not really going nowhere. Just during the pandemic and everything like that, people appreciated me having there because it's open air markets and more people like buying my tomatoes. I have a good quality tomato. And I'm having a lot of trouble just creating more parking. I have little flyers here. Can I hand each? I can't hand any to you.
No, thank you, sir. You can leave them, we'll get them as part of our borough mail. That'd be okay.
That'd be fine, leave them right there?
Yep.
So I'm going through this hearing, court procedure with the borough, and they keep charging me more. They appeal one thing and I have to counter appeal that, and they just keep adding my bill. My attorney even said they're just increasing the money on me, that costs more money. And it's basically something simple, and it's something they already agreed on previously. Then all of a sudden they change their mind after the process gets started.
Okay,
So it's just very upsetting.
I understand.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
This is plenty of information right there.
We'll get them done. Yep. no
Thank
problem.
you.
Thank you. Anyone else, public comment? I'll close it for the in-room members in attendance. Is there anyone online, community media?
If you're joining us online via Zoom, you can unmute yourself if you'd like to address council.
Seeing none, I'll close the online public comment portion. At this time, we will move into our public hearing, that being on the intermunicipal liquor license transfer for Permanente Brothers, 100 Eisenhower Drive, Suite 300, in accordance with Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board intermunicipal transfer regulations. So, you're taking this? Okay. Oh, sorry. Yes, sir.
Good evening. My name is Mark Kozar. I'm with the law firm of Flaherty and O'Hara. I always plug my firm when I get a chance, and I will plug them tonight. Our sole area of practice is liquor law and liquor licensing. We do it throughout the state and across the country. Tonight, I'm here on behalf of Permanente Corporation. With me is Will Boker, Dan Moskovich, and Kyle Hurston, seated behind me. I first want to thank Dorothy and the solicitor and counsel for helping get us on the agenda tonight. You may or may not know, but we were under the impression that our location was actually in a different municipality. And we found out that we were in the wonderful borough of Hanover. So I am happy to be here tonight. We're here to request that you pass a resolution permitting the intermunicipal transfer of a liquor license from outside the borough to within it pursuant to revised liquor code, Title 47, Section 461B3, for use at a new Permante's restaurant at 100 Eisenhower Drive, Suite 300. As you may or may not know, Section 461B3 permits the PLCB to approve the transfer of a liquor license from any municipality in New York County to any other municipality, so long as you, the receiving municipality, issues a resolution or ordinance permitting that transfer. In order for you to make a decision on our request, let me just provide you with a little bit of information regarding Permanente Brothers. Permanente Brothers sandwiches have been a Pittsburgh tradition since 1933. Permanente Corporation, either directly or through subsidiaries, own 38 restaurants in 5 states. Permante's iconic sandwiches come with fries and coleslaw and fresh Italian bread. Since moving into the suburb markets outside of Pittsburgh, Permante's has expanded its menu to include wings, pizza, and appetizers, and sandwiches without fries and slaw. I don't understand why anybody would order one without fries and slaw, but they're available. Permanente Brothers restaurants are family-friendly, casual dining restaurants in a relaxed atmosphere. Their hours of operation are Sunday through Thursdays, 11 a.m. to midnight, and Fridays and Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m., depending on business flow. Permanente is making a significant monetary investment in the community that will bring in substantial tax revenues. This store will employ in the neighborhood of 100 full and part-time people. There are floor plans I passed out. You'll see that there are seating for 198 patrons inside and 24 out on the patio. Alcohol is served as a complement to the food at Permante's, not the main attraction. Alcohol service at all Permante's restaurants makes for a consistent national product. All employees who serve alcohol will receive RAMP training, that stands for Responsible Alcohol Management Program. It was created by the Bureau of Liquor Control Enforcement and the PLCB. Teaches people how to card people and look at the cards to make sure they're not fake cards. Treats employees how to recognize visibly intoxicated persons, how to recognize pass-off situations when somebody who is over 21 is purchasing for people under 21. As part of that, Permanis cards anybody who looks under 35, and they use card scanners to verify those cards. Permanis is a responsible owner making a significant investment that will be protected by responsible management and well-trained employees. It's going to be a great family dining alternative for the residents of Hanover Borough and the surrounding area. And for those reasons, we would ask that you pass a resolution approving the transfer of the license into Hanover Borough. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. And if I can't, I'm sure the three gentlemen behind me will be able to.
Where's the license coming from?
I don't know off the top of my head. I usually jot that down, but
I'm just curious.
Well, last week we were told Maitland Brothers.
yeah, I think it would,
Yeah.
yeah, and quite frankly, we bought the license in Penn Township because we thought we were in Penn Township.
Right, right.
And as you may know, if you buy a license in a municipality, you don't have to go through the intermunicipal transfer process.
Right.
Oops.
Yeah, oops is right.
Any other questions?
Do we need a motion, or how do we work
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, I'm sorry, yeah. Is there any public comment to the proposal? Seeing none, I'll close public comment and ask if it is the wish of council to make a motion and enact the order of business.
So moved.
A motion to my left, Counselor Rupp, and a second, Counselor Lockard. Any additional discussion? Calling the question, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
How's that?
Welcome.
Thank you. All right, so that will conclude the public hearing. And at this time, we will move on to printed agenda, item 7. Those of you following along, that would be the orders of business on our consent agenda. To this time, then, the chair will call for a motion for approval of the items on the consent agenda. So moved. Been moved by Counselor Lockhart. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor of approval of the consent agenda, signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Turning the page, to page 2, we will move into standing committees. The first being Finance and Personnel. Vice President Rowland, you're up.
Thank you, sir. I'd like to start with consideration of a motion to appoint the following candidates as probationary patrol officers to our Hanover Borough Police Department, effective the 27th of this month. Catherine Baker from Dover, Adam Bollinger from York, and Ian Ness from York.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Just for a matter of record, Mayor Whitman will administer the oath of office on Friday, the 27th at 9 a.m. in this same space. Right, Chief? Is that right, Chief? Okay. Number 2, consideration of a motion to appoint James Shelton as the Hanover Borough Treasurer effective May 9th, and rescind the appointment of Amy Hill as interim Borough Treasurer effective May 9th.
Second?
Been moved and seconded. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries.
Thank you very much. On item 3, consideration of a motion to appoint Mr. James Shelton as the borough representative for the York Adams Tax Bureau.
So motion.
Thank you.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Point 4, consideration of a motion to approve Resolution 1347 to designate the Borough of Hanover as an official trail town, and to support the Trail Towns Action Plan as endorsed by the York County Economic Alliance.
Second.
Thank you.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you all. That concludes my report, Mr. President.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Hegberg, you're not with us yet?
No,
Mr.
he's in
Hegberg.
I texted with him. He's in a meeting. You want me to read?
I'm going to ask Counselor Rupp to pinch hit.
There you go.
Sure. I ask for consideration of motion to adopt ordinance number 2324, the short-term rental zoning ordinance comprehensive amendment.
Second.
Any discussion? I will ask Secretary Felix to assist with a roll call vote here. Secretary Felix?
Mr. Fuentes?
Here.
Mrs. Funk?
Here.
It's
We're
a
voting
yes.
yes or no.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
We know you're here though, too.
Yes.
Mr. Greenholt?
Yes.
Mrs. Greenholt?
Yes.
Mr. Kress?
Yes.
Mr. Lockard?
Yes.
Mr. Ricart?
4.
Mr. Rowland?
Yes.
Dr. Rupp?
No.
Okay, we have 8 in favor and 1 against, so the motion passes.
Ask for consideration of motion to approve the following community development block grant, CDBG extensions till December 31, 2022, number 455-42470, Bear Avenue Playground Improvements, and number 455-42471, Port Park Improvements.
Okay, I'll motion.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
That concludes Mr. Hedberg's report.
Thank you for the pinch hit, Dr. Rupp. We'll move into water resources. Counselor Kress?
Consideration of a motion approving the water service extension agreement for the Gitz Run Road Development Project conditioned on completion of the remaining administrative items currently in progress.
So motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. All right, we're back into Public Works with Mr. Hegberg, who's not here. Who wants to pinch it this time?
Carol can be Mr. Hedberg.
Okay, Counselor Lockard.
Nice.
Request consideration of a motion approving the transfer station hauling bid to Curtin and Sullivan LLC, DBA Sullivan Hauling, 881 Abbottstown Pike, Hanover, Pennsylvania, in the amount of $224.48 per trip for the contract period of June the 1st, 2022 through May the 31st, 2024, as per bid specifications.
So
Second.
motion.
All in favor, signify.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion
One-
carries.
One just quick question, and Dory, you may know the answer. That's the existing route, I guess, from the transfer station to the incinerator, and there's no fuel adders or anything to that. That's it.
It's a standard rate.
Okay,
It's good.
Counselor
thank you.
Lockard?
Okay. Request consideration of a motion approving the Department of Community and Economic Development, DCED, grant extension for wayfinding signs, contract number C00000066825 until January 29th, 2023.
So motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, at this time, we will segue into our mayor's report. Madam Mayor.
All right, good evening. These are,
Oh, yeah.
What's that?
Did you want the other public comment first?
Nope, I'm gonna do mayor's report, then public comment.
all right. My highlights for April. April 5th, Chili John and I met with the Hanover Exchange Club, where we did a presentation to them to continue the tradition of the chili cook-off. And I'm pleased to announce the Exchange Club has decided to take over the organization and the running of the chili cook-off, which will be held this summer. Well, usually it's over Labor Day weekend. And so the cook-off will be in its 26th year of it, and it's a worthy and fun event that raises money for local charities. Beginning this year, it will be held at Mao Field. April 6th, I attended the ribbon cutting to welcome Express Employment professionals they're located at 11 Carlisle Street in Hanover. Later, I had dinner and spoke with the United Methodist Men's Group. They were a lively group with many good questions and comments. April 9th, I presented a proclamation for the Lancers Night of Music. And on April 12th, I attended the Neighborhood Watch meeting led by Police Chief Martin, where involved citizens were informed of the latest areas of concern to be aware of in Hanover. The 19th, I was invited to attend the governor candidate debate held at Gettysburg College. It was an experience, and I enjoyed engaging with several students who were in attendance afterwards. It was interesting to hear the students' thoughts about each candidate. The 22nd, we had a Trail Towns meeting where we went over data collected from the community meeting that was held in March. On the 26th, Councilman Hegberg and Ricart and I attended the YMCA annual dinner to celebrate the Y's accomplishments and to recognize employees and outstanding participants in the YMCA's programs. April 27th, was the Arbor Day celebration, which was held at the Guthrie Memorial Library in the Children's Department. Hanover is certified as a Tree City USA. During the celebration, State Forester Matt Kern gave a tree planting demonstration. The children's librarian, Miss Kelly, read a couple tree stories, and I presented a proclamation in recognition of Arbor Day. The Garden Club was also in attendance and provided a red bud sapling to each child and to the mayor. On the 28th, the State Representative Kate Klunk and her team and I enjoyed a tour of the new Bright Life Recovery Center. It has been beautifully renovated, well-staffed, and is now officially open. We are happy to have this nearby facility for those in need of addiction treatment. On the 29th, I gave a magical proclamation in honor of the Hanover Exchange Club's efforts to bring awareness to child abuse. The Exchange Club hosted their 22nd annual evening of comedy and magic at the Eichelberger Performing Arts Center. The magicians were very entertaining and enjoyed by all. Thank you to the Exchange Club for all you do for the community. April 30th, I was also happy to be part of the ribbon cutting ceremony for the new Old Navy store located on Wilson Avenue in the Gateway Hanover Shopping Center. People were lining up to shop even before the doors were open. So they are fully stocked with summer apparel, so go check them out. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mayor Whitman.
Oh, one more thing, I forgot. I just wanted to do a little recognition for Lieutenant Bunny. Lieutenant Bunny and all the members of the class of 520 want to congratulate them on their successful completion of the Northwestern University School of Police and Police Staff and Command program. The Northwestern School of Police Staff and Command is an intensive leadership and management education program that helps prepare experienced law enforcement professionals for success in senior command positions. Lieutenant Bunny served as the class secretary and was selected by his peers as the recipient of the Franklin M. Kreml Leadership Award. So I just wanted to point that out about Lieutenant Bunny.
Thank you again, Mayor
Okay.
Whitman. At this time, I'll open it up in the room for any last public comment. I'll ask community media to assist us to opening up online for same said.
Our Zoom participants may now unmute themselves if you'd like to address council.
Seeing none, we'll close that, and the chair requests a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned. See you next month.